I just want to share some thoughts on that subject that seems to occupy everybody's thoughts at one time or another, and that's of weight management, and perhaps more precisely, weight reduction. The comedian Billy Connolly once said, probably frequently said, that the only diet that counts for weight loss is eat less, move more. And undoubtedly, for the majority of people, that combination does have an effect. Frequently, people who perceive themselves to have excess weight will go along the route of dieting. They may have a target weight and may continue with the diet until they reach the ideal. But somewhat illogically, many then stop dieting and go back to normal. But can I suggest that those people should really think of that as going back to abnormal? What they're seeing as normality was what put them in the excess weight position in the first place. They prove that they can lose weight by dieting, but they don't seem to make the connection with their so-called normal diet and the increase in body mass that comes when they change back to that diet. An additional hindrance to keeping weight down is a hormone called ghrelin. It's been found that after losing weight, the body increases its levels of ghrelin, which stimulates hunger, almost as if the body is trying to regain the lost weight. Now, this probably comes from our ancestors, who were of course victim to periods of famine that then required them to stock up during times of plenty so that they had the fat reserves to carry them through the lean times. Ghrelin stimulates the appetite and has been shown in controlled tests to increase circumstances when this effect would be desirable. For example, those recovering from serious illness who have lost an awful lot of weight. There's a counter to this in the hormone called leptin. This helps to reduce the hunger sensation, and it inhibits the synthesis of neuropeptide Y. Leptin promotes the loss of fat mass and leaves lean tissue unaffected, in contrast to dieting, which makes no distinction between fat and lean tissue. The way leptin works is to stimulate energy use, raise body temperature, and dispose of the fat, the adipose tissue. And this is what happens when you exercise too. Leptin has other effects. If you want to know more, I'm sure you'll find Wikipedia is only too happy to give you much more detail about both leptin and ghrelin. Given those issues, our approach from the hypnotherapy viewpoint means that a two-pronged strategy is needed if we're going to help people to lose weight and then remain at their target weight. Firstly, people need to know that what, how and when they eat has a real effect on the shape they create for themselves. They therefore need to think forward and accept that losing weight is truly life-changing, and understand what that overused phrase actually means. The quality, quantity, frequency, timing and content of their normal diet needs to change forever. Once a new pattern of behaviour, the life change, has been established, it has to be maintained. That, of course, does not mean a single menu for the rest of life, but it means permanent changes in choices and attitudes. There may even be some work to do before we start to tackle those practical issues, because I'll ask you about your life, and one question that you might like to consider right now is, in your life right at this moment, what is it that food is replacing? So often weight problems or excess weight problems can come from comfort eating or as a way of misdealing with problems. You can be sure that if you can identify what's causing you to overeat and deal with that, the weight issue will take care of itself. Commitment, therefore, is essential. And it may be that we need to build the self-confidence of people to enable them to believe that they can make and sustain those changes. So this is a different approach to your weight loss desires than you get from pills and diets. If you've tried that method and either not lost or have lost and then come back bigger, it's time we got together to look at it in a different way. Now, the second prong of the attack on weight problems is to deal with the ghrelin issue. We need to help reprogram the subconscious to alert you when you've eaten enough, and secondly, to find other ways of enabling you to find comfort rather than comfort eating. We also need to change the template, the ideal image that is in the subconscious, so that it matches the image that you in your conscious mind have. Because while those two images differ, there will remain a conflict and the subconscious will always win. If we can persuade your subconscious of the new image that you want, that becomes the norm. So all the issues around leptin and ghrelin then conform to the new image. Do you really want to change the way you look and feel? Do you want to be healthy? Do you want to live well? If you can commit wholeheartedly to those thoughts, give me a ring and I'll help you to achieve your goals. I'm not going to wave a magic wand, and in actual fact you will be in control of the process, but I will give you the tools, the motivation, the confidence so that you can make the changes, because that way you are more likely to stick to them, and because you've been part of the process, you'll understand why the changes are necessary and what they are doing for you. So if you need help to make all this come about, my contact details are on each page of the website. So you can either email me or you can ring me and we can talk about your particular needs and find a resolution for them. Thanks for listening.